जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम 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 श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. Yesterday we were prompted to read some portions of Swami Rama's words on mantra japa. He started telling that mantra is your friend. You have to treat, there should be an emotional bonding with the mantra, not as a discipline. That is very important. Not at all as a discipline. Many of us might be doing it as a part of our discipline. But we have been asked now to change our attitude, that there should be an emotional bonding. Is that the feeling should develop. Just as when we remember a person, we call a person whom we love, what is it that wells up? That feeling. Whenever we hear any noble thing, any incident where the value is portrayed, depicted, there is a feeling, developed. So what is important is, now Swami Rama says that we should treat the Nama as a friend who is with us, who has been with us. And Nama stands for that principle. First Nama, then only the Nami. Have you established friendship with your mantra? Do you have any other friend in the world who is dearer to you than the friend within you? If it is given second position, it won't work. So he should be our first friend. When your mantra, the friend within you, becomes your best friend, then it functions. It will help you always and everywhere. When you are disappointed with external relationships, with the external world, with your ideas, thoughts, desires, then your mantra gives you solace from within and it becomes your guide. By constantly reading, we develop this attitude towards the mantra. Especially we have before us our beloved Papa's life, who keeps on telling that there is no other sadhana necessary excepting to chant his name. Later on he will say the chanting should be followed by certain mental framework so that this feeling develops, a bonding develops. So let us see what he says today. Instead of rushing to the external world with the help of the senses, let your mind go within. Instead of rushing to the world, external world, with the help of the senses. Through the eyes we see, through the ears we hear, through the nose we smell, through the tongue we taste, through the skin we touch. These are all the ways through which, we transact with the world outside, we communicate with the world, we get in contact with the world outside. And because it is a full-time affair, we hardly find any time to go within. That is the biggest problem we are facing. We have been trying to see him outside. We have not been successful. This blunt truth has to be faced by us. So let your mind go within. So what should you do? Remember your mantra subtly. Now there is competition here. Whole life is full of competition. A part of the mind says, I will remember mantra so subtly that other part of the mind does not listen. The other part of the mind says, I am so alert, so one-pointed, no matter how minutely, how subtly you remember, I will listen. You will have to create that competition in your mind. With the help of one part, your mind becomes very subtle, remembers. If another part is not alert, you will forget. Another part should not be producing a huge heap of dollars, a bank balance, a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Simultaneously, both parts of the mind should function together, to help together. There is no time for remembering the Lord's name, for it is a way, simplest way, known to all the great traditions of the world. The highest level of japa is when japa goes on by itself all the time. This is called ajapa japa. Japa goes on without japa. You get up in the morning and japa is already going on. It means japa has embedded itself in the unconscious mind, which is rather difficult. Anywhere you are, japa is going on inside. You are laughing to yourself, japa is going on. You are angry with your children, japa is going on. You are not really angry. This way japa transforms your inner situation, your life. It is something great. So here it is being suggested now. No? When we develop a emotional bonding with the name, though due to various preoccupations the mind may not be able to chant, but still a part of the mind, suppose there is told, that will always pull us up when we go off the track. So while doing japa, this is very important. It should be intense, it should be consciously chanted, it should be knowingly chanted, it should be done with all sincerity. That's what they say. So we now keep on trying. You made us to chant all these years, all these decades rather. Kindly bless us with that emotional bonding. We feel joy when we chant. Any program, now ashram devotees will organize only Ramnam chanting. Anything in their house, even in marriages, they will set apart half an hour or 1 hour and all devotees will join together along with other various rituals that will be going on. Ramnam chanting will be there. So we have been blessed with that. Not that anybody says it should be done. It is spontaneous. So it has possessed us, no doubt. But not to the extent that is expected of us. So this we should become aware now. And the beautifully worded is emotional bonding. So we try to keep on thinking, how do we develop this emotional bonding with the name, which stands for the Lord who is seated within. So part of the mind, when we chant, there should be a conscious effort on our part to set apart some portion in our mind, subconscious level, so that whenever we go off the line, we will be pulled up. Suppose whenever we are writing or dictating some letter, just think how does the grammar comes in place. When we talk, how does it come? Initially we did not come with a grammar. We did not know about letters, alphabets. We learned, and at the same time it has come to stay with us. Think. It has come to stay with us, it is a part of our being. So that whenever it is needed, even unwittingly, unknowingly, it comes to our aid and we go along with it. It is memorized. Not merely memorized, it comes by itself whenever there is a need. In Bhagavad Gita he says, Matta Smriti Jnanam Apurimanam Cha. Smriti. So he is in the form of memory, remembering. He is also in the form of forgetfulness. He is in the form of knowledge. So it comes automatically. So we are now trying, when we chant Ram Nam, how did we get this memorized? A, B, C, D in English, in all languages it is there. So when we write or talk, how does that grammar comes? Automatically it comes now. Previously it was just like driving, Initially when we go to the driving school, it will be a big problem for us because all our organs should be well coordinated to make the safe driving. But later on it becomes sahaj, automatically it goes. Where the hand should work, where the leg should work, where the eye should work, where the ear should work. Whenever there is a crisis, how does the intellect take a decision and work? You watch how the beautiful system works. So similarly, we have to develop. It should become a part of our business, so that whenever it is needed, it comes to our aid without even our motivating. Papa is making us to go deep with it, because Nama chanting is the mainstay of our sadhana. I will remember mantra so subtly. You will have to create the competition within, he says, Part of the mind which has absorbed this, memorized this, it is always alert. So whenever a word that should not be uttered, suppose when it's building up, immediately, hey, don't. Whenever a thing that should not be done, immediately we are cautioned. Whenever a thought that should not rise up, immediately we are old habits, We see someone, we get connected with the old habit. Immediately this intervenes, intercepts and says, hey, go, be careful. So that is why Prabhupada used to say prayer and chanting. Yesterday he was telling what is needed is only prayer and chanting. So while chanting this prayer also, Guru, please make it to stay with me, even if I am not vocally chanting, even if I am not silently chanting, even if I am not mentally chanting. You protect me. You make me to do so many things. You make me to think so many things. You make me to talk so many things. You make me to do so many things. But while making me to do that, please, enable me to remember the base, that is the Maranama. Yesterday Papa was telling all the other austerities, fasting, solitude, self-denial. All these things are secondary. They are only means for this. This should be well thought of. Otherwise we get stuck with certain pradas, The purpose is to somehow make it a part of our mind. Somehow. And when we fail, we can plead, cry, appeal. Pujya Swami used to say, he was not chanting the way in which all others chant, Every time we have not heard him chanting at all. But he says, whenever he chants, it will be a concentrated chanting, the impact of which will remain with him. That sort of chanting. So while we take to chant, We are praying, please give us this conviction. No? Bless us with this conviction that it should stay with me. Then only in the early morning when I get up, it will come back. Automatically it will come back, whenever we start something, whenever we close something, whenever there is a pause moment in between our activities or thoughts. The highest level of japa is when japa goes on by itself all the time. You get up in the morning and japa is already going on. It means japa has embedded itself in the unconscious mind, which is rather difficult. Anywhere you are, japa is going on inside. You are laughing to yourself, japa is going on. You are angry with your children, japa is going on. And you are not really angry. Your life. This way japa transforms your inner situation, your life. It is something great. Whenever there is a negative approach comes, japa should caution me. Whenever a grumbling or a complaint comes, whenever I hear somebody telling something about somebody, immediately I should know it's a test given to me by him to insulate me from all such down-pulling tendencies. He is testing. If I fail, I must immediately retrace my steps. Throughout In Quest of God, you will find Papa was meted out with various tests, unawares. But because of the grace through chanting, he was able to keep up the same equilibrium, same equanimity, same attitude of God abundance. That is why we read again and again and again, not for the sake of reading, how to capture that very good methodology, how to make it a part of my life. Just like so many things he made us to master, So many things he made us to master. And then what happened? After mastering, we are not even aware that the technique, the know-how or the expertise is with us. But whenever there is a need, it comes by itself. Let us do some deep pondering, deep pondering. It is not a thing which we cannot do. Because in all other matters we have been able to do that. But only in this particular line we feel, it is something not possible. All other things, right from our childhood, if we start remembering, say cooking, for example, what should be the ingredient, how much proportion it should be done, and what is the duration through which we should, all these processes, It is not a text or a theory taught to us. But those who have done the self-cooking, they will know that. Automatically it will come, for how much rice, how much water is needed for boiling, how much salt we should put, how much spices we should put, how much tur dal should be put for sambar for this much of quantity. Where from it comes, we are not referring to text. So that means initially when we were trying or we were learning, it got imprinted in our mind that unknowingly, unwittingly, spontaneously, even without our knowing, it comes out and helps us. That sort of relationship we should maintain with his name. This is what Papa tells us through Swami now. So we now try to go back and find out how did I master. Then we will know the technique, our meticulous going, our manana, our sincerity in it, our earnestness in it. All traditions have somehow or other discovered this power of japa. First step is muttering. Just now we had been to the nearby temple. They are organizing a all Kerala Saundarya Lahari Parayan. Now, 5 o'clock, in various places in Kerala, in so many temples or ashrams, clusters, groups of devotees join there, and then they recite these 100 shlokas of Saundarya Lahari. Many may not know the Sanskrit meaning. Today when we went there, there were mothers there. And the bhakti with which they are saying, that is enough. We are trying to remember the Vishwajanani, the cause of all causes, the cause of the entire creation. And even if I falter, suppose there is some mistake, Mother will definitely pardon us because the language she can understand. The emotional bonding is there. That is enough. We remember many a time we have shared this. When Mirabai was the center of attraction for many, many people on those days, orthodox people, well-learned people, they felt that she is not observing the usual traditional way of approach of bhakti, and this will land everybody in trouble. So they all went and told her, what you are doing is not right. This is not in line with the tradition. So instead of getting offended, she smiled and said, on those days Maharajas were there, Suppose you want to see a Maharaja, you have to fix up appointment, Previously you have to go and tell the Mantri there, or the person who is attending, that you would like to have an audience with the Maharaja, and he will tell you the timing and everything. Then you go there and then you present. But at the same time, the Maharaja's child is there, in the palace. He will be discussing serious matters about the administration or something like that. But the child will go directly and sit on the lap of the Maharaja. Will he get offended? Will he ask for the protocol to be observed? So she said, I am like a child. So I have got easy access to him. That emotional body. The relationship between the child and the mother. So even if we don't know the language, she will pardon us. Even if we commit, somebody said, they will understand our language. We people cannot understand our language. Because our mind says, we are glorifying the Vishwajanani. And the more we concentrate or contemplate on the Vishwajanani, the Divine Mother, Papa used to mention as Divine Mother. Because of which the whole creation has come. Because we know that we can come only because of a mother. So the whole world. And when we try to understand the Jagannatha, the tangible, palpable gain is we find, there is an affinity between our co-creation. We all belong to the same mother. So that is how the expansion slowly comes. Expansion of our love circle widens. And ultimately, the highest goal of realization is absence of otherness. Because there is no otherness. All are children of the same mother. What comes to our mind is the emotional bonding, emotional bonding, emotional bonding. First step is muttering, then it is remembering. Then that remembering leads you to consciousness awareness. And these are the steps. So are we to stop with muttering? No. First step is muttering or uttering. Then it is remembering. No? Then that remembering leads you to consciousness, awareness. That awareness leads you to absolute silence. And then you are remembering japa without any remembrance. Ajapa japa. It has become a part of your life. Then there is only the momentum. Have you seen a potter make pots? When he has finished making the last pot, the wheel still rotates. It still has momentum. When you have finished your work, at the last moment of your life, that momentum of the japa will give you great joy. How long will you remember the mantra? If you do not meditate one day, you have gone backward by 1 year. If you do not meditate one day, you have gone backward for 1 year. Stop inhaling the 1 day. Can you do that? Inhaling and exhaling is going on, no? Every moment it is going on, without even our aware of it. Can we stop? Don't eat your food for 1 day. Don't go to the bathroom for 1 day. Don't think for 1 day. When you are doing all these, when nature is functioning in you, why are you not remembering your mantra? The formula according to Yoga Sutra is, O student, learn to sit every day at the same time. You will see that as long as you keep your mind busy with the mantra, then the devil does not come near you. Saint Teresa said this very beautifully. Somebody asked her, do you believe in evil or the devil? She said, I don't have time. All the time I pray, I don't have time to think of devil or evil. It means that evil and devil are only thoughts, not reality. If you are remembering your mantra, you are free from many things. Being jealous of others, thinking badly of someone, getting angry in your mind at somebody, being negative, nothing will affect you if you are remembering your mantra. That is the insulation, no? When you are attending to something, attend with full attention, remembering the mantra. When you are silent, remember your mantra with all your love. When you do something again and again and again, you are creating love for that which you are doing repeatedly because of habit. You actually do not love anybody, but love your habit. Therefore you persist. The highest of our state, that is beyond speech, that cannot be explained, is inexplicable. And that eternal joy you can attain in this lifetime when you gently train yourself in the method of going within to your innermost self, and mantra is the guide. Let it not become a theory for us. No? Let us try to go back to what we have been trying or what we have been practicing, and which are the areas where we have to improve. He is making us to think, he is making us to talk, he is making us to do so many things. But along with that, we are praying that the mantra also should go on. Now mantra is going on a particular time, or in a particular place, or in a particular situation. Okay, that is necessary. Collective sadhana is also necessary, that will help us. Because Papa used to say, those who are in the group, somebody may be advanced and his influence will be there. When the mantra is chanted by him, it will have its own telling effect on us. So collective sadhana is also necessary. But at the same time, not at the cost of individual sadhana. Not merely collective sadhana. That we have tried, Every time there is a function here, we have this Akantram. Every 2 hours or 3 hours, one group goes, another group. So twice they will come. Enthusiastically they will do it. Enthusiastically. It is not that somebody says you have to go and do it. Automatically. Even during nights. So that is there. But so collective sadhana is definitely helpful for people like us. But at the same time, we should not limit to collective sadhana only. There should be an individual sadhana by which we somehow pray to him to make it a part of our life. This is what Papa now wants us to do, serious pondering, through the words of Swami Rama. So he facilitates us to hear all these things through some sayings, so that not for the sake of hearing, not for the sake of remembering, but for the sake of getting this embedded in our heart. So now he makes us to go back to our own sadhana. So we have to make some adjustments there. How to do that? Each one has to devise one's own method. One clue Papa has given is prayer. Intense prayer. Swami Dayanji Maharaj used to compose a beautiful prayer, we often hear. Thy glory. Swami Omkarji Maharaj, prayer for world peace. Small prayer, but it does. It touches. When we say you are the eye of our eye, ear of our ear, heart of our hearts, at least we will start thinking, oh, that one which is behind the eye, the one which makes me to see everything through the eye, the one which makes me to hear through the ears. So we are trying to connect ourselves with the Lord who is seated within, whose name we are chanting, to remember Him. So all these things should come back again and again and again. So we pray to Him. You are trying to give us more and more clarity on the sadhana you made us to take up. And with this clarity, and with whatever we have been prompted to practice, now give us the technique by which, this becomes a part of our life, so that our life gets hastened in its march towards the ultimate. Ultimate is to remember Him. Once again we will see the step, that is. First step is muttering. Then it is remembering. Then remembering leads you to consciousness, awareness. That awareness leads you to absolute silence. And then you are remembering Japa without any remembrance. You are remembering Japa without any remembrance. Ajapa Japa. So that means it has become a part of our life. Uttering, remembering, leading to awareness, and then to remember him without remembering. The process of it becomes sahaj, it becomes automatic, it becomes natural. Kindly give us each one's method should be unique. There can't be any general prescription, because general prescription has not helped us. So now each one of us is directly petitioning to him, you give me suiting to my equipment. You know my limitation. So suiting to my equipment, you give me a method by which I remember you always. I have been trying to look up to somebody's, and I have not been successful in remembering you throughout. Because it has come from outside, it has not come from within. So you please guide me from within. As to how I should reach you, how I should get in touch with you, how I should feel your presence. So let this prayer well up from the bottom of the heart. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody.
Namaskaram, Swamiji.
Namaskaram.